Now we know better than ever that the ICC is a tool of injustice to promote a neo-colonial agenda by the West. Victims of political violence become the ICC inductees, while the actual perpetrators become the alleged victims and walk free. Shaka, a very loaded comment. No need to add anything else on this one. What do you guys make of it?
What about you, Steve? Do you have a problem with that?
Well, let me start with correcting the misperception that the ICC targets African leaders. The facts are the following. Kenyatta, when he was issued a summons to appear, he was not a leader. He's a leader now. The only leaders that have been indicted before the ICC are Omar al-Bashir of Sudan, and formerly you had Gaddafi, Omar al-Gaddafi of Libya, who passed on. Yes, the brotherly leader. Mm-hmm. The ICC is also investigating other cases where you have people who are not senior government officials. We've had rebel commanders in Uganda, Democratic Republic of Congo, Central African Republic. The list is endless. Laurent Gbagbo was a former head of state. So the ICC is not only looking at African leaders, it's going after individuals that are alleged to have committed crimes. But I would like to add one thing. To demonstrate that the ICC is not only looking at Africa, and also Mariama's previous question was whether only African leaders are committing crimes. That's not true. The ICC sees with 8 other situations outside Africa. You have Afghanistan, you have Colombia, you have Honduras, you have Georgia, the situation in Georgia, you have Ukraine and Iraq. Of course, the situation in Iraq was open. Right now, there's a British military prosecutor who is looking to allegations of British soldiers who are alleged to have committed crimes, and hopefully there will be some kind of decision that will be made. In addition to that, of course, there is a situation of Guinea and then Nigeria where the ICC is looking to. So the ICC is definitely not only looking at Africa, it is looking at all countries where crimes are alleged to have been committed, and it only goes after a few. In the Kenyan case, there were 6 individuals. Charges were dropped against 3 of them when it was clear that there was not sufficient evidence. The prosecution at the ICC has continued with the 3 individuals currently because they believe there is evidence to go forward with the cases against them.
Well, thanks, Mariama, for bringing us this week's audience reaction.
Thank you to our guests for responding to our audience questions. I think the perception for the African ordinary person is that the list, when you look at the number of not just leaders, I think they're also thinking about the number of individuals that are Africans who are being pursued by the ICC. The scale definitely tips. You know, it seems like there are more Africans, whether they're leaders or individuals that are being pursued by the ICC than anybody else. But hey, that's basically what our social media response is. That's what we see about the reaction of the people who write to us. But we'll leave it there. That does it for our social media segment. Thanks to our guests for responding. Once again, just a reminder that we appreciate all the feedback, whether it's in social media form or using other means to communicate to us. Please keep them coming. And if you are a new fan, please drop us a line at africatv@voanews.com. Once again, our email address is africatv@voanews.com.